member who would like to question?
Yeah, I'll ask my questions.
So if the other members prefer to go vote, Ms. Bonamici and I will be here to finish her question, and then we'll recess until after the vote series and all come back. With that, the chair recognizes Gentlelady from Oregon for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Lucas, and thank you, Ranking Member Lofgren, and thank you, Deputy Secretary Turk. The Department of Energy plays a critical role in combating the climate crisis through its work to transition to a clean energy economy, including in rural and underserved communities. And the department is also well positioned to address emerging challenges like strain on the grid caused by the rapid growth of data centers and artificial intelligence, and to support other agencies to develop novel climate solutions like marine carbon dioxide removal. So I'm going to ask about those issues. According to a recent paper from the Digital Climate Alliance, data centers are projected to compose up to 9% of U.S. energy's demand by 2030. And I recently heard during an Oregon Clean Energy Task Force meeting that we need reliable grid enhancement technologies to responsibly maintain the pace of advanced computing and innovation. So Deputy Secretary Turk, what is the Department of Energy doing to make sure that the load growth caused by the expansion of AI and the need for data centers does not exceed the grid capacity?
And I'll answer that question very directly, but let me just thank you for pointing out the focus on rural and underserved communities. One of the parts of the bill in IRA that hasn't gotten as much attention is $1 billion for those communities. It's frankly way oversubscribed, and there's a lot more we could do with those communities. So on AI, you mentioned 9% of electricity demand by 2030. Our latest numbers, which aren't yet public, but we'll put these out here in the next several months, is growing from about 6% of our electricity demand right now coming from data centers. A part of that's AI. It's probably about 15 to 25% or so right now. That growing to 9% by 2027. So that's a significant amount of growth.
Right.
But that's not the only source of growth. We're seeing growth from all this industrial renaissance that we're seeing across the country, which is just phenomenal from a jobs perspective. We're also seeing growth from electric vehicles and heat pumps. So we're actually in a period where we haven't been, last 15 years or so, we've had pretty flat electricity demand. We're now growing again quite substantially. We've had significant periods of growth before. So what we're doing is a multi-pronged strategy. First of all, we're working with all of the data center companies on efficiency. Right? The more we can efficiently get as much compute power out of what electricity we put in, the better, right? And we've got a strong record of efficiency improvements, including our national labs and our supercomputers that this committee has been so supportive of in years past. Secondly, we need to focus on all the clean generation sources. And we're spending a lot of money and time on enhanced geothermal. We're spending money and time on small modular reactors, other baseload power, but also storage options that can help on the generation side.
Right.
We've got a very big focus on virtual power plants and other demand response. And for some of the AI in the data centers, they can actually fluctuate the amount of electricity they need over time, which can help. And then we've got to invest in transmission. We've got to reduce our permitting times on transmission across the board.
And I do have a couple more questions. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we know that meeting our climate goals is going to require the removal of at least 6 gigatons of carbon dioxide per year by 2050. The ocean can act as a massive carbon sink, so marine CDR and sequestration have emerged as potential climate mitigation strategies. The bipartisan infrastructure law provided the Department of Energy with $3.5 billion to create new carbon removal hubs. Are marine CDR projects eligible for this funding?
So as of right now, no. And I think that's actually unfortunate. I think there's a huge opportunity for marine carbon dioxide removal. We've got $36 million in ARPA-E that's working on that. We've got our fossil energy and carbon management and energy efficiency and renewable office as well with smaller amounts of money.
Can I ask you why they're not eligible? Is it statutory? Is it interpreted?
So it's statutory and congressional intent.
Okay.
And so if Congress wants to change that, we've not funded. We're doing
duly noted.
This is one of these multi-tranche funding streams, and so we still have a significant amount of that funding available.
And another clarification, can the IRA renewable energy development funds be used for offshore wind?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that right offhand, but happy to get back.
I would like to have the answer to that, and I appreciate that. And I just want to note that the $5.5 million investment that the DOE's Water Power Technology Office announced earlier this month, I believe, for the Oregon State University's Pacific Marine Energy Center, which supports PACWave, is going to support testing and deploying technologies for marine energy sources, including tidal and wave energy. And I really appreciate that investment, and we're
Well,
going to
it's
follow
phenomenal
that.
expertise, as you well know.
Right.
And eager and happy to support.
Thank you so much. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlelady yields